once the flooring goes in. And we've selected the flooring for that. When I say we, I mean my partner. I call her the chief stunt coordinator. There's different types of flooring actually. This is a, I don't know if you can see that. Let me just see, there we go. So it's more of a laminate. There we go. It's a laminate on top, excuse the paint marks, but you can see that it's solid. And if you look at that again, you can see it's redwood. That's why it's got its all red pine. You can see there, that's where it gets its name from, because of the reddish colour that it has. Sorry, can't really focus on that. But you can see there that it's made up of basically what they called laminates of timber. So you can have plywood, which is thin laminates. These are slightly thicker laminates, and they run at 90 degrees to each other. So you can see the grain running laterally, or as you can say, horizontally there, if you look across. And then you can see that these, the grain to these is running vertically. I don't know if you can see that. Trying to get it so you can see it. So basically, what you have is a lattice work, you know, horizontal and vertically, and that way it gives it its strength. And then the last bit on top is a oak laminate. Now that is quite a good quality one. It's about 3mm, and there you go. There's a company that supplies them. You can go on the internet and find them, and this is pretty good quality. It says there it's engineered flooring, and also it's talking about white oak and 3 strips matte lacquered. When they say engineered flooring, it's one of these things that you have to look into. We were slightly confused by the terminology for that, but we'll go into that in a later date. Here's another sample, and this is being lined. So we were thinking about that, but we haven't gone for that one. Then you have more of a traditional laminate. So if you look at that one there, this is more of a traditional plywood laminates where you've got very thin layers. Once again, running at 90 degrees to one another. Some would say that this is more stable than the other stuff, and this is supplied by a company, again, called Wood and Beyond. Let me just swap hands, because I'm right-handed, not left-handed. Now, you can go online and have a look at these, and I would recommend ordering samples and having a look at them. What I tend to do is I get a few samples, and they say the lackage. You can see that the laminate on there is not too bad. It's very difficult to show you this actually. I'm sorry about this with the quality of the lens at the moment. But I tend to put a glass of water on, so I tend to fill a glass with water, okay? And then what I do is I put this on top of the glass of water, and then once it's on there, I turn it upside down, and then I leave it for a few days or a day just to see whether or not it does actually go into the laminate itself or soak through the veneer coating. If it doesn't do that, then it's pretty good. It gives you an indication that if it gets wet, it's probably going to be okay. Having said that, you've got to look at the edges there where you can see that you probably would, if the water did get down there, it would absorb into the joints. So, you know, these things are not perfect, but they're fairly good. Then there was another type that we went for from a company called Factory Direct. Can you see that? Let me just see. Okay, Factory Direct. And this is an Aqua Step, and it's a lined oak, and it's a 4-way bevel click system, like it says on the packaging actually. As you look at the edge there, you can see that it's hollow. You know, so it's a completely plastic product. Now we were going to have this initially because we thought, okay, we'll go through the bathroom obviously because of what happened with the flooding, and we'd put this throughout. But you know, we looked at that. You can look at something like that and you can say, okay, that's the laminate. Well, it's not really. It's a look-like. What is it called again? It is a Aqua Step. So it's a lined oak effect. Okay. Whereas this one is engineered oak. We could go into why it's called engineered, but we won't at this particular stage. And you know, it's very hard to see the difference there. That looks lined, that looks engineered. This one's plastic. This one is real laminate, timber laminate. I suppose you pay your money, you take your choice. This one is very hard wearing, very hard to scratch, and so is this. Having said that, if you do get any deep scratches into this, which is quite a strong material, you are going to get the brown plastic showing through, and that's the only thing I would say is the disadvantage. Having said that, it's hard wearing, easy to put in place. I've not tried to machine it yet. And then the final one is another oaked sample, but we haven't had a look at that. I'm going to take this one home. I'm going to show you how I do the water stack test. It's not a scientific process by any stretch of the imagination. It's just something that I use to, for my own self, I suppose you could say, in the sense that I'm comfortable if I know something's not going to absorb the water over a period of time, and you know that once you put it down, if it gets wet, you've got a certain amount of time to get the water off, and also you can clean it and not worry about it being damaged in regards to the water staying on the flooring. Anyway, this is the back bathroom, as we can see. The shower's gone back in, so everything's coming together. That's really nice. Doors have been rehung, and the floor's gone in here as well. I'm just going to nip upstairs very quickly. This has been a long one, so it's been 12 minutes. I'll break this into 2 parts. And back up here again. This is the flooring that we had down before. This is a bamboo flooring imported from China. It was cheaper to import it 6 or 7 years ago than it was to buy it locally, and it is solid bamboo. Very hard wearing. The only thing I would say is we have a bit of wear and tear there where the floor has been mopped as such, and you can see where it shrunk a little bit. So water has got into the edge of the floor in there, and it's a little bit damaged. Having said that, it's still a solid floor because this is a solid 12mm bamboo put on edge. So you can imagine stacking your toasts. Imagine a loaf of bread but on edge, and that's what this bamboo in is, isn't it? If you get a bit closer, you can see the lines there which indicate the sections of bamboo which have been sliced and then turned on edge, and multiple layers have been put together like my thumb, and that is what you've got on that floor there. This has been there for 6 years. A little bit of movement, but not a massive amount of movement, so it's not too bad. And as you look around, you can see this has all been painted. Everything's been done up there as well. So the fan's been cleaned, and we're not far off, to be honest. We're not far off at all. So I think that's about it, really. I'm going to nip back home and show you how to do the stack test. Oh, we've taken the extractor off there because there was an extractor there. That's what that is there. And that has been cleaned as well. So it's given us an opportunity to do certain jobs that we hadn't been able to do. Once again, you look at the lights up there, you can see that we've got a similar sort of lighting, which is all halogen, or halogen as you like to call it. I'll give you an estimation of what it's going to cost to switch over and what the likely savings are going to be. And so this is Neville Douglas signing off on a Sunday morning, going to get my bacon butty and